what is at the heart of the spotlight of what's going on in the Nirav Modi case currently, and then we move on to the stressed assets issue, which is the issue of letters of undertaking, letters of credit. Now, we've been seeing letters of undertaking, letters of credits being misused for decades. You know, it was there in 80s, late 80s, there have been frauds recorded. 90s, PNB itself had a fraud in London related to letters of undertaking. 2000s is carrying on, and I don't know how long it will carry on. So what really is it that makes it so difficult to track and control letters of credit, and why is it so vulnerable?
One of the things I'd like to say is that it's not any instrument which is vulnerable, it is a systemic issue. And when we talk of letters of undertaking, which is nothing more than a bank guarantee, or letters of credit, which are there to facilitate trade, these are actually very useful instruments for the business of banking. I mean, this is what banking is about, that you facilitate business and you facilitate trade. However, there are certain departments in every bank which are prone to fraud. This is much before the digital age and much before computers. If you have two people who collude, and there's one guy who has the chabi to the tijori, and the other guy is the one which is supervising you, well, then of course you will have a fraud. And departments which are prone to fraud, it has always been what we earlier called telegraphic transfers, now SWIFT, the Nostro department, simple things like dead and dormant accounts. So anyone who has grown up in banking knows that these are areas which are prone to fraud, and therefore these are also areas where there are, extra safeguards. So when you have an operational risk framework, you look at all banking transactions, but you look very, very closely at these ones. And, what I do want to say, and I think it's really important that we say that, is the problem with the Nirav Modi case is that many things are being lumped together. So it seems very, very clear that two individuals, Shetty and this gentleman called Karanth, did issue fraudulent LoUs, or letters of undertaking, for a prolonged period of time from 2011 onwards, and that therefore there is probably no doubt that fraudulent LoUs were issued to the Nirav Modi group of companies amounting to 12,700 crores. However, the question is, are all of these LoUs actually translated into non-performing assets or losses for PNB? And if that is the case, then it points to widespread systemic failure. That means that there were many people who were colluding, not just in the bank, but in the auditory framework, external auditors, internal auditors, RBI auditors, regulators, not just colluding. So we are talking about dishonesty, we are also talking about incompetence.
So you're saying essentially that it's not the LoUs that is the problem, it's the fraudulent LoUs that's the problem.
Absolutely. I mean, certainly LoUs, LCs, these are very, very important instruments. I would say really bank guarantees. I don't know why we are still issuing LoUs, but, guarantees, letters of credit, buyer's credit, these are very, very important parts of trade.